Hey everybody, it's Katrina and I hope y'all are doing well. Today I have a little chatty, casual get ready with me and I'm really excited to be sharing a new makeup brand that I've been using. Here is Merit Beauty and this is the little pouch that comes with every first order. So if you don't already know, Merit Beauty is a new, clean beauty brand. It's founded by Catherine Power, who was co-founder of the fashion brand Who What Wear, and she also has a skincare brand, but she created Merit Beauty to kind of press reset on the whole makeup routine and to scale it back to just the essentials. So if you're familiar with the capsule wardrobe, which are just like the essential pieces that you need for your closet, I feel like Merit Beauty is really like an essential capsule makeup vanity where it's just like the basics, nothing too glam, but enough to just make you look a little bit more put together while still feeling minimal and clean. Their whole theme is less is more, 5-minute makeup routine, and just responsible luxury. And so I'm really excited because their products are really intentional, the way they produce and just the ingredients that are put into it, their packaging, and beyond all of that, I just really love how the makeup works. This is not a first impression just because I feel like my first impression with makeup is always a little bit iffy. When I first used these products, I was like, I don't think I really like them, but the more I use them and practice with them, I actually really like them and I felt like they were much easier to use. So I'm going to just show you all my current makeup routine. It's with these products, but also some of my other products as well. And I'm just going to be rambling on about my relationship because that's what you all wanted to hear about. So hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you are interested in checking out Merit Beauty, I have a link below. Just for transparency, it is an affiliate link. So I believe I get 10% commission if anyone purchases through my link, but no pressure at all. You can just check them out, and if it's something that you like, once you finish with whatever product you have, you can take a look at it. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and let's roll into the makeup clip. Okay, so I have all my skincare on, and before I get started, I usually just spray some of this fresh vitamin Nectar glow water just to hydrate my face a little bit. I'm going to do primer today. I only do primer sometimes, but I'm still using the Rare Beauty primer. I'm almost done with it. Put a little bit of it on. I usually just focus it on like my eye slash kind of like forehead unibrow area. Is anyone else getting like really red marks here because of masks? I never used to have so many red dots, but ever since I started wearing masks, it gets really red around the mustache area. So you all voted for a chatty get ready with me, and when I asked you all what I should ramble about, the first response was how Ryan and I reconnected. So for those of you who don't know, Ryan is my boyfriend, and today is actually our 4th year anniversary, but we actually met in middle school, and we've been friends ever since middle school, high school, college, but we didn't get together until the very end of college. Yeah, I'll just try to talk a little bit about, I guess, how we got together because we never really disconnected. We were still friends the entire time, but I'll get started with my makeup first. So for my makeup, I usually start with either my eyebrows or concealer, whatever I'm feeling. There's no real set pattern, but I am almost done with my RMS concealer. So I've been researching concealers for a while now, just as I was finishing it up. This is in the shade 22 and I've liked it. It hasn't been super like heavy coverage, but it's enough for every day. But I recently bought the Kosas Revealer Concealer in the shade 2 and I've been using it together with the Merit Complexion Stick, and this is in the shade Ecru. I actually think the shade Linen is more my perfect match, but this one works too, and I think if I don't want to look as pale, then this is a good match for like some of the darker spots. And a little bit here. The Merit stick, sometimes I just put also along the area. So if you can see like the difference in color, this one's lighter, this one's a little bit darker. So I guess I'll start talking about Ryan and I. We were pretty close in high school. We were in the same friend group, and so we would always just talk and hang out. And we stayed pretty close throughout college, even though we went to different colleges. I went to UC Irvine, he went to UCLA, but we would just, you know, have our group chats on Facebook, and we would like just randomly chat. He was always that friend, you know? There's always like a friend who just has a lot of platonic girlfriends. Like I feel like people just see him as the guy that they can talk to and that will be supportive, and he was very much like that person to me. He was just the guy that I knew that I could go with for support. And I know it sounds funny now that like we're together, but I truly only saw him platonically. And I remember one time during like my 3rd year, somebody thought we were together and I was like, Ryan? No way. And I think he felt the same way too. We were both in relationships before and we would just talk to each other about it, and it was no like funny business at all. There was no attraction or anything. I always saw him as just like one of my really closest, you know, friends, and I could be really transparent with him. He was like one of the people I would go to when I had boy problems or when I was stressed or when I didn't know what to do. He was just always someone who was willing to drop things for his friends, and it wasn't just for me. Like, I think a lot of people in our friend group can say that they can really rely on Ryan. Yeah, that's just like the kind of person that he is. I don't know if you all have like the dark spots by your eyes, but I kind of do, so I'm just gonna put a little bit there and then mix it up a little bit. It's really hard for me to like talk about my makeup and then also talk about a story. I don't know how other people do this, but I will try my best. And then I go in with my very old Innisfree powder. I did wash the puff recently though, but I've been using this thing since 2016, which, funny enough, is when Ryan and I's story sort of started, but not really. The summer of 2016. We would hang out a lot in the summer with some of our other friends too, and I actually liked somebody else at the time. And Ryan knew this, and I would talk to him about it, and he was very supportive of me. And then one day, like later on that summer, he told me that he started realizing like he kind of felt funny, and then he talked to one of his other friends and they were like, I think you like Katrina. We had this, you know, friendship policy since the very beginning of just like being transparent with each other with anything, how we felt about things, like what we thought, and even if we thought that the other person wouldn't really want to hear it, like we want to be as transparent as we could. So he's very transparent. He told me that he might like me, and I was shocked. It made me so confused. I just felt like I never imagined that happening. Like, I don't see Ryan like that. It was just such a strange thing, and it really kind of threw me off because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to like hurt Ryan, but I like this other guy. I was just very honest with Ryan. I kind of told him like, I don't think I see you like that. Like, I just see you as a friend. Like, I have that really strong like emotional connection with you, but like I feel like that's it. Like, we're just super close friends and that's it. I know I feel like it sounds so mean like when I'm saying it, but I did friend zone Ryan a couple times before, you know, we got together. So summer 2016, that was the first time I kind of like friend zoned him, but me and the other guy didn't end up working out. So then Ryan kind of tried like, okay, let's, you know, entertain the idea, like, do you think we could work out? And we like tried hanging out together, and I don't know, it just felt like we were just friends, right? Like, and so, you know, I told him like, I don't think it will work out, and I just don't want to force anything. I feel like I just want to spend time right now focusing on school. It was a confusing couple months for me because I was like, okay, ideally it would be really great. I'm so close to Ryan. We're like so honest with each other. He's Chow too, which is the language that my family speaks. So he would be able to communicate with my family and my grandparents. And so I got really like happy thinking about that, but I just didn't feel that like romantic attraction to him. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows real quick. I'm using the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I actually like their Precisely My Brow pencil better, but I just am finishing this one up first. I don't know how it goes. I line the top, and then I line the bottom, and then I line the little tail, and then I just brush it along. My facial lady told me I don't know how to pluck my own brows, so brush. So this next brow step that I've added is using the Merit Brow 1980 Brow Gel. I've never used the brow gel before, so I was really like intimidated. So this is what it looks like, a little mascara for your brows, and I got it in the shade brown just because my eyebrow pencils are usually brown. I know that people like to have like that kind of bushier look, but I don't know if that's for me, so I just kind of go along like the brow and then just kind of brush it really lightly. I feel like it makes it just look more thick and just a little bit more put together because my eyebrows here always like to go up. sorry the story is so like truncated. I just feel like I need to take breaks, like makeup, then tell the story. So for eyes, I'm still using the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. Okay, so before I get into the eyeshadow, where were we? Oh, so Ryan came and we kind of tried to test things out. I wasn't really feeling it. And then I told him, I was just honest, like, I feel too much pressure in trying to make this work. I feel like we just need to revert back, just be friends again, and just, that's it, right? So that's what we did. Ryan did, you know, like need some time just to like process it for himself and stuff, but he was such a homie. That's going to be the theme of like this entire journey, is that like Ryan is really patient with me, really understanding, and always a friend first before, you know, someone that is like trying to pursue me or trying to make it work. I think he's always there as a friend, and he can sometimes kind of divorce himself from his feelings to give me a more objective perspective when I'm like in this turmoil, like uncertain stage. So I really appreciate that. So in those next few months, we were, you know, just like hanging out still sometimes when we would come home for the weekends. But for the most part, like we just did regular things. Like we didn't talk about like our feelings. I did ask sometimes, and Ryan said like, you know, he's just trying to get over his romantic feelings so we could just be back to friends and both people are, you know, back to normal and stuff. And then the funny thing is it kind of reversed. So one day in April, I saw Ryan commenting on this one girl's Facebook like picture. This girl, I don't think she really liked me too, so I couldn't tell if it was because I didn't really get along with her as well, or was it because I like had feelings for Ryan. But I felt myself feeling a little bit jealous, or like not even jealous, like kind of just like negative in some way, you know? And I wasn't really sure what my feelings were either. And I talked to one of my friends, Alex. Of all people, this guy who was always just like, do it, Katrina. And so he goes, Katrina, you like Ryan. I've never been more clear about anything in my entire life. And you better tell him and see if it works out before somebody else swoops in and you regret it. And I don't want to say I told you so, but like I told you so, you know? And so, so then I was like, man, I feel like I gotta talk to Ryan about this. But I was kind of hesitant because even though I had these feelings, I still couldn't really imagine like dating Ryan. You know what I mean? Like it still felt very strange to me. And so I was just really uncertain, but I messaged Ryan that day. I was like, hey, I want to talk to you. And then I just kind of gave him like a scenario. Do you feel like if somebody kind of felt a little bit negative or like sort of territorial, seeing somebody's comment on somebody, do you feel like that means they like them? And I can't really remember if he said like yes or like maybe. And then I was like, what if I actually felt that way looking at your comment? And then he was like, oh. And then so we were just kind of like, yeah, talking it out. And it was funny because this whole time he was telling me, oh, I don't like you anymore. And then he was like, well, let's just give it a try, right? But I was very vocal about my hesitation still. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work. And my biggest thing was I didn't want it to not work out and I lose one of my best friends. Our friendship was something that I cherished so much, and I didn't want to risk it on this like off chance that we might work out as a couple. I was very hesitant the whole time. I was still not completely there with like feeling like super seeing him as like a romantic partner, but I did feel some different feelings, right? We started talking more and I felt like we kind of entered like this somewhat dating stage where we would talk a lot, like we would call at night and like talk. I would stay up late, and it was funny because my roommate Anthony, who was both of our friends, started noticing that I was staying up late, and I usually sleep pretty early, especially on school nights. And so he started getting pretty suspicious. What happened after that? So anyway, we kind of like, I guess, started dating. But I just want to say, like, even in the beginning of our relationship, I was still pretty uncertain because I've never been somebody, not just with Ryan, just with any guy that I've ever dated, that I've ever liked, never came without hesitations. I'm someone who is super wishy-washy when it comes to relationships, guys, and I'm always like really overthinking everything and uncertain, and there's so many factors. So when it comes to relationships, I'm always just like all over the place. It's not an easy like, oh, like it's just gonna work out for me. Like we could be together and I could still be going through so many things in my mind. Now I'm going to use the Urban Decay Half Baked. This is from my friend Kelly years ago. It's probably also very expired, but it still looks okay. So I just put it towards the front, and then sometimes I go in with this Champagne Truffle, and I also just put a little bit more just to brighten up inner eye part. And then I usually go in with the darkest brown, Triple Fudge, and just kind of smudge out the edges. Oh, I also want to say, during spring semester my senior year, I took a class, I think on human sexuality or social relationships, something like that, where we would be asked to do a lot of prompts about like our relationships, our romantic relationships, reflect on them, like analyze them. During those assignments, sometimes I didn't have the actual romantic experience during, you know, the time where I dated somebody else to answer all those prompts, but I found that I could actually answer those prompts with my relationship with Ryan. And so I would share, you know, my assignments with him. In the class discussion boards, I used it as a way to bounce like my own indecision and uncertainty with my classmates and my professor. And it was just an interesting and really fun way to kind of also go through that process to share with Ryan and just to let him see like, this is my thought process. This is just how confused I was because, you know, as someone learning about that kind of stuff and then experiencing this, and then just also as someone who's just so anxious and indecisive, the prospect of us being together was really like scary for me. You know, we hung out a lot more, we talked, I really enjoyed it, and I just felt like really happy. And I felt like whenever something good happened to me or whenever I had something to share, Ryan was the first person that I would go to, and I was always so certain that he would be able to reciprocate the same kind of energy that I felt, whether it was to comfort me if I'm sad or if I'm frustrated, or to affirm me if something good happened. So I felt very grateful, and I wanted to try it out, knowing that I kind of started having a little bit of feelings. And then we would hang out a lot. He would drive down to Irvine during the weekends, during finals week, senior year, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend on June 11th, 4 years ago. And then that's how we got together. So I'm gonna use a little bit of bronzer. So I'm using the Benefit Hoola. You watch those like Instagram things where they say like, oh, if you want to lift your face up, do this, not this. And so they always say like go a little higher with this, so I'm going a little higher. I always feel like I don't really mix it out that well, so do I have cheekbones? So for blush, I'm using the Merit Beverly Hills blush, and I really like their blushes. They're in these cute little, like, little nubs, and it's very creamy, and I'm just gonna go like this. And then usually I just pat it out with my hand. I think it blends so nicely, like just with slapping it, you know? Okay, there's that. I think I'm gonna go back and put a little bit more concealer on my nose. I'm just gonna put a little bit, woo, that was very crooked. Oh, and I also want to say about this, I feel like it looks better once it settles into your face. So I have really dry skin, and at first I was like, ooh, it's kind of like clinging onto my dry spots, but then after it settles in, it feels a lot better. I'm gonna add a little slight eyeshadow wing. So I just use that darkest brown color, and I line from almost the halfway mark. I don't even draw a clean wing. Now I'm going to use the highlighter, and I got the Merit Day Glow in Bounce. I actually wanted the Kava one, but that one was out of stock. So for my skin tone, the color of Bounce is that sheen. Do you see that little rosy sheen? So I feel like it doesn't look super glowy. So if you want like a more natural, just a little bit of shine, I think this is good. I feel like for me, it looks like a shiny blush, and it's so soft. I really like how easy it is to apply, and just to smear around with my hand. Sometimes I just take a little bit on my finger just to do where the brow bone is. So I'm gonna add a little bit more blush, just for fun. I haven't worn mascara for the past year because every time I wear mascara, it always comes down here. I'm so shocked that the Merit mascara is the first mascara that I've ever tried where it doesn't fall down no matter how long I wear it. My eyelashes don't really hold a curl, so they're probably gonna fall back down. But when I use the primer, it does work. So I'm gonna try this side with the primer just to show you all. So I'm gonna use this primer that is also super old. Don't use me as a guideline for how long to use your makeup. Alright, so now that this is dried, I'm going to curl it one more time. And then I'm also going to curl the one that I just applied the mascara on. Can you see anything? And then now I'm going to go in with this mascara. So yeah, I really like this mascara because it doesn't smudge, which is amazing. Actually, I like all the Merit products. And I know it's kind of hard to believe because it's like, well, she didn't buy these products, they were gifted to her. But I hope you all can trust that my opinions are honest. I'm definitely due for new makeup and I'm super excited because they're all easy enough to apply. So for Merit's lip products, they have their they have their Shade Slick lip oils, and I got two. I got the All Naturel and the Marrakech. Okay, so this one's the All Naturel and this one is the other one that starts with the M. This one's just a little bit darker. So this one's the All Natural one. And I actually really like the texture of this. Lately I've been using the Jack Black. I was running out of this tube, so I cut it open to get the remaining bits of it. So this is just one layer of the All Natural on the bottom. I like this color. I feel like it's very subtle and muted. So I'm gonna go over it once with the other shade. So that's the lip look. I feel like the lip oils are actually really cool because they don't dry your lips out. So I always put a base layer before I put any kind of lip color on. And so I put my Jack Black and then this, and I feel like my lips are actually hydrated. It's not like lipstick where it'll go into, you know, the little crevices. And so I've been really digging it so far. I feel like all their makeup is very dry skin friendly. So if you are like me with super dry skin, I feel like Merit's products are really good, especially like the creamy blush and highlighter. I feel like the complexion sticks, you may want to go to Sephora and try them out. I'm really excited with how it looks. I think that the Merit products in conjunction with some of the other products that I have just give me like a very natural and clean, but a much more elevated look than my natural face, which is what I'm going for. Thank you all for watching and listening to me ramble on and on. I will see you all next time.